joining me on FERNCRAFTS. I'm Christine and I welcome you to my channel. Today I have a full video of lots of stuff I wanted to share with you guys. There's a bunch of different things and I thought I would do my video in a different format today. So they're going to be segments and hopefully if you guys like this, then I will continue to do them in this manner. So to start off with, what's in bloom, and today I really wanted to share with you my Brassavola Tahoma Glacier, and I'll put the name up on the screen if I can. Actually, I'll just show you the label, that's easier. There we go, Brassavola Tahoma Glacier. And this is one of the orchids that I got in Montreal. I shared with you over the last few videos. It bloomed, and this here is my first bloom, but it got knocked over and I was kind of upset about it. I was very, very upset actually that it had happened, but it was an accident. And so I thought I would show you this video to capture a bloom that's open completely, because it is beautiful. It's a nice very light cream with a darker center, and she's just very dainty looking. So let's go up to the plant. It's a very gloomy day outside, and I'm just trying to get the best light I can. So I hope you guys can see that. All right, so it currently has 1, 2, 3, 4 left on here, and they are not all open, so partially open, but we will do the best we can with it. So let's see, because I'm pretty sure she'll be open a lot more by the time I video next, and it might be not looking that great, so I wanted to share it with you. And of course I held on to this bloom since 2 days actually now, just so that I could share it with you. And of course she's such a pretty bloom, so I want to try and enjoy her the most that I can. So not sure if you can see what I've done here, but her tip, there's water in the bottom of the pot, in the tray. So I just have her tip just touching the water right there, and yeah, giving her some light, and we'll see. She's looking good. All right, so that is Tahoma Glacier, and she is just opening up in blooms, and I love this plant. She's slightly scented. Let me see. Yeah, very slightly scented, but nothing significant. It's just nice flowery scent. And then right next to her is, in contrast to the color, this one here, which is my Howard's Dream. Now, you know, I'm kind of wondering if this is Howard's Dream, because I remember, or maybe I'm just, because I remember the Marfitch being a little different. I don't know. In any case, she's very nice, and I'm actually going to look that up now, because it is very possible that sometimes when watering, oh, I hope that didn't happen, but in any case, here you go. So I'm enjoying the blooms on that as well. So I have a few more that are in bloom, and I keep them on this glass table by the window here, the patio doors actually. And this is my hibiki, Dendrobium hibiki. You guys are probably tired of me showing this, but really the reason I do that is because if you haven't seen it before, of course it'll be nice to look at them, and also to know that this little tiny pot, it's here, this is the pot, okay, it's in 3 pots altogether. This tiny pot, it's only about a 2-inch pot, and it is really worth its money. Like, these blooms last forever, for 3 months, and I'm not tired of them yet. But I remember last year, you know, towards the end, I kind of started neglecting it just because I had seen it for so long. But really, like, if you look at the flowers, they look so fresh and they look very, very nice. So yeah, that's Dendrobium hibiki. And then just to bring it along here, and I hope there. This is my apple blossom, and let me, whoops, sorry for all the shaking. It's a very, very nice dark center. I love that there. That's a very nice light. You can see it well. It is Dendrobium little green apples, and I really love this orchid. It is so nice. And you know, for dendrobiums, I'm not that great at getting them to rebloom, so I have to really enjoy the blooms when I can. And hopefully it won't be a trend with this one. I will be able to have her rebloom, which would be fantastic, because look at that, like, it's so pretty to look at. Anyway, so those are the orchids in bloom right now. And so now let me talk to you about some of my orchids in particular. Okay, and in this segment, let's talk about brassavolas, their care and culture. I have 3 here. I think I have a 4th, but I don't know where it is right now. So let's talk about the 3 that I have here. This is Little Stars, and this is Sunny Delight crossed with Richard Mueller, and it lives in that little pot. And it is here, this one is a Brassavola nodosa. They are one of the easier orchids to grow, so it is perfect for a beginner if you're considering expanding your collection and you're new to orchids. Brassavolas are highly underrated, but they are beautiful and easy to grow. This one in particular, the Brassavola nodosa, it is fragrant with white flowers. I unfortunately don't have any blooms to show you. Maybe I can put up a picture if I remember to do so. And it is highly scented in the night with white flowers, if I didn't say that, because they are moth pollinated. They are frequent bloomers, and all of the brassavolas now are well suited to being mounted or in baskets. They like that. They are part of the Laelia subtribe, and they're native to American subtropics. They have tubular leaves, as you can see, that make them very drought tolerant, and they need less frequent watering. And as far as their lights supply, they enjoy fairly strong light, and if you are into measuring the light, it's 2,500 to 4,000 foot candles. And for those of us who just need to know how much light, it's a south-facing window, or as strong light as you can give it. As far as fertilizing these orchids, I generally practice a weekly with most of my orchids, and that's what they get as well. So weekly just means that it's a week solution of fertilizer on a weekly basis. So that works for me, and it's easier in my routine. I water them just once a week, and that seems to work well. So if I can show you this one here, it has some water sitting on the bottom. I hope you can see that, just a little bit there, and that will dry out by the end of the week, so around Thursday, Friday or so. And so it's about a day when it dries out, and then it's ready to be watered again on Sunday. So these have just been freshly watered, and most of them like a fairly loose draining mix, and they enjoy bark, charcoal, and clay in their medium. So this one here has all of that, as well as some cork in there. This is just a mix that I had that I'm using. This one has perlite and you can't really see much, perlite and bark mix, and it's a smaller bark because it's a smaller orchid. And this one just has a top dressing of sphagnum moss because I had her outside during the summer, so she has not been repotted since. And actually they like to be pot bound, so even these 2 pots, the larger ones, might be a little too big for them right now, but they do outgrow their pot really fast, and they don't need to be repotted as much, but they do need to be, you know, reduced in as far as the how much there is in the pot, so they're perfect for divisions. So yeah, that's on how to grow Brassavolas, and I had to recently look this up because I've now brought my orchids indoors and I wanted to group them and arrange them according to well, their type, first of all, because it's easier as far as controlling light and humidity and temperature. But also just to know general care, because it's been a while and I've just wanted to refresh myself on what these orchids need. So I hope that was helpful to all of you. And last but not least, I have a very little tip for you. Okay, so before I share my tip with you, I just wanted to say a very big thank you to all of you who had responded to my video over the last 2 videos where I had asked about my Phalaenopsis bellina, whether waterculture or full waterculture was a good option. So I got some answers back from you, and I've just kind of summarized them because a lot of you had so much to say about it, which was very nice. And some of you had personal messaged me, PM me, and let me know in detail of how waterculture works as well, which was very nice of you. So it looks like the general consensus is that the orchid is on its way to recovery because there are growing root tips, and it could do with some sphagnum and bark mix maybe, so more humidity but not to let it sit in water. And then someone had also suggested mounting the orchid because Phalaenopsis bellinas like to be mounted. So that might be something I'd like to consider. Actually, I am considering, so it might be something to look out for in one of my future videos. I would like to share that with you and how I do that. And also that mounting it on a stick. Now that's what I thought was interesting. So what I've done is I've cut out some of the dead root matter, which someone had suggested, and applied a little bit more cinnamon just to make sure that there was no rotting continuing in all of that. So yes, I will do an update on that Phalaenopsis bellina at some point, but here is my tip for today. So this is, first of all, let me share with you what she is. It's the Gilded Tower Mystic Maze, and it's a highly hybridized orchid, as you can see. But this is probably her second rebloom, if I'm not mistaken. And so yeah, it's a lovely spike, and she started putting out the spike when she was outside, and she was just out on a shelf outside. So I'd let the spike grow until I took her in, and now since I'm arranging all of the orchids inside, I thought I would share this very small tip, and this is mostly for those of you who are very new to orchid growing and, you know, not sure how to do the simple things that we take for granted, but I had to learn it at some point too, and I thought I'd share it with you. So here's a tip, or a spike rather, and you don't want it to be unsupported. Now with this Mystic Maze, I know the flowers are show off best if they are in a long spike and if they are trained that way. So I like to tie it against a stake, but instead of using what I did in the beginning without knowing really, I would use like, you know, kitchen tape. I'm not even sure what you call it, kitchen ties maybe, and whatever work, you know, whatever I had, right? You can get this amazing tape. It's floral tape actually, and it's velcroed, and I just got it from our local hardware store. For those that are Canadian, it's in Canadian Tire, or I'm sure you can get it at Lowe's, Rona, somewhere like that. And it is soft on one side and velcro on the other, so it works really well. So all you need is a little piece, and this tape is going to last for a while, at least till the next summer, because I'm hoping to have lots and lots of spikes. And yeah, so I would just stake it. And the reason I want to do that is, and you don't want to pull it very tight, you want to leave it a little loose, and it'll get more and more trained as it goes. So I want to show off the flowers as they are. Whereas in this case here, in my Howard's Dream Blara Mothfish, I prefer the cascading flowers. I think that's a nicer look. So really, after you get to know your orchids, you can do this. Or if you're not sure, it's nice to stake them just because it's safer. The spike won't move around and get hit and break off like my flower did. And yeah, you can enjoy it for longer. So this is definitely, it's a very small investment that's worth its money. Now, for those who cannot get a hold of this, I also can suggest that you use a soft ribbon. And I've seen others use that, and it works just as well. So yeah, that's my little tip for this week. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and it's a different format. So I do want to hear from you how you like this format, like to me to continue like this, or if you prefer just having smaller videos with you know, very shorter videos, because I understand this is a little longer. In any case, thank you very much for watching, and for those of you who haven't done so already, do come and check us out on Facebook. We are FERNCRAFTS, Love of Orchids. It's a lovely group that loves to talk about their orchids and what's in bloom, any questions that you have. Yes, so it's fun. Thanks again for watching again, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And if you haven't done so already, do subscribe. You'll be the first to know when I upload a video. And until next time, enjoy your orchids. Bye-bye.